Hi and welcome to Dave Barlow Guitar, and this is the part 2 of the previous video, which was part 1 of the vintage guitar. Obviously in part 1, if you haven't seen it, I've unboxed it and made some comments and about the guitar, and in this video we're gonna play the guitar to see how it sounds and how it plays. Obviously I've not set it up or anything like that. It's come straight out of the box with the strings on it, and I'm just going to go through a couple of things before I play it. Right, before I play the guitar, I'm going to go through a couple of things that I've noticed since I started playing it, and then we can just get on with what it sounds like. Okay, so the first thing I found out about it was the position of the position of the input jack, or if you like, the positions of the volume and tone controls. Do you know? Usually, when I'm playing with the volume, I'm using my little finger. I don't know if you can see that. Hang on, using my little finger, and I'm going like this. When I want to make adjustments. So if you look here, what the fuck? Look at that. You can't get your, I mean you can do this, but you can't get your finger in between, not unless you've got really dainty little fingers. I don't know anybody with fingers that small that can get in there and roll it with their little finger. Yeah, I mean, not everybody does that. I mean, most guitarists do. So it's not a deal breaker or anything, but what the fuck are you doing putting that there? I mean, obviously you're not Trev Wilkinson. Did you have a hand in this? I doubt it. What the fuck? Why would you do that? Maybe they've changed the position in the factory and no one's checked it this end. Well, do you know what? I'm going to send this video, or this bit of video, to John Hornby Skews, just to say, what the fuck? Yeah, I mean, it's not a deal breaker, but like, I'm really surprised that a company that makes guitars would do that. Why would you do that? Okay. So, yeah, it's kind of blown me away, really. That's kind of just... Right, it's not a deal breaker, right? For me, it's not a deal breaker. But if I made a guitar, say if I made a guitar, say an iconic guitar, like this one is an iconic guitar, I would want my customer to receive it in the way that they would understand that iconic guitar to be. Ideally, it should kind of look very similar to the iconic guitar which you're copying, because this is a copy. Let's face it. Yes, it's got a slightly different shape to the body. Obviously, again, the headstock. Bring your sick bag. But it's not deal breaker. Listen, Wilkinsons and vintage people. I'm not having a go at you. I'm just going. I tell you what, I'll draw something on a piece of paper and send it to you, and then you can use that design, because it's going to be better than that. I mean, there might be reasons why you have this like this. I mean, for the life of me, I don't know. I mean, if anybody thinks that's a good looking headstock, then they need their head examined, because that just looks ugly to me. Sorry, I'm going on about this stuff, but you know, it's important. It's important to people that they know about this stuff. But other than that, it's a great guitar, right? It's a great guitar. Are there deal breakers? Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. No, it's not a deal breaker, but again, I said in my first video, the only reason I didn't buy one of these guitars earlier is because of that headstock, and that headstock only. It just does something to my OCD. I don't know what it is. But anyway, I got over it. I'm over it now because I need a black SG, and this is the one I'm going to use. And I'm going to, like, you know, do stuff to it, so it doesn't matter. I don't see it when I'm playing, so it's not so bad. So, okay. So other than that, other than them gripes I have with it, it comes set up from the factory. Although I think I can set it up a lot better, but from a factory setup point of view, it's fine. It's fine. It's okay to play, but we are capable of making it play better. The strings on it, I'm not sure what the strings are on it, but they stretch. They're still stretching. So I don't know. They may be good strings, but they don't feel like good strings. They don't. I mean, they sound okay. They feel okay, but they're stretching. Because I thought it was going out of tune for some other reason, but it's the strings stretching. But anyway, that's the bad shit out of the way. Everything else is good. Tell you what, it's got that kind. I mean, I haven't got like a lot of crunch on it. It's just a crunch I've got. This is on a Black Star ID20 practice amp, and I've got just the crunch channel engaged. And so the pickups are a pack and a punch. I don't know what the output is. I have no idea. I haven't looked it up. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to look anything up about this guitar because, in case it swayed my mind, you know. So I'm kind of going blind here, right? So I'm going, well, rather than give you what the readings are, it sounds like a reasonable output pickup. It's not a super high output pickup, but it's got a reasonable amount of. It's clear. It's got loads, bags of You like harmonics? It's like John Sykes harmonics on this. Oops, shouldn't play that. I might get YouTube tell me off. But yeah, it's great harmonics you get out of it. So like it sustains really nice. There's no sustain illusion here. That's what I call it. I call it the sustain illusion. So let me explain that quickly, just so you know I'm not doing that. Basically, what it is, you get an amplifier, right, and you run it at a certain volume. So much so, it just gives you that little bit of feedback, which means you can get a longer sustain on a guitar, and that interacts with the amp. So you can it sounds like it's sustaining for longer, but really all you're doing is cheating the audience because that's not really what's happening. So I've just got a little Black Star amp there. It's an ID20. It's on about 1/4 of the power, just enough so my camera can pick it up, and I can pretty much talk over the top of it. That's how quiet it actually is. You might even be able to hear me hitting the strings on this guitar. So there is no sustain illusion here. The pickups are bright, they're clear. I think they'll punch through a band quite easily, but at the same time they've got some power as well. So you can hit those harmonics and stuff like that. Let's see what happens in the in a kind of clear sound. So that was the bridge, and bridge. Let's just put a little bit let's play with the tone knob just a little bit. It's just like halfway around. Bit more. Very usable. Even halfway is very usable. Very usable. Unfortunately, we can't do that on the bridge pickup because I can't get my finger in there. I don't believe that. Anyway, sorry, I'm not going to go on about that anymore. So let's go straight to the neck position. Totally non-musical playing as usual for clean. That's me. I don't know why, but I seem to have really dirty fingers playing this guitar. What's going on there? Dirty strings. Or dirty fretboard. Middle position. Slight bit of honk. Yeah, very usable. Very usable. Okay, so what about some stupid metal? Let's have a look. Let's see what kind of sounds we got for that. I think we do like a stupid metal here. Oh yeah, that's stupid metal. Well, I don't really know metal because I'm kind of not a metal guy. I do listen to it, and how they get those sounds, I don't know. They're probably because they got guitar with like 7 or 8 strings on it or something like that. I can just get my hand across one of these, next letter on the 7-string guitar. Anyway. It's enough of that. Okay, so back to Dave Crunch. So okay, so yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a great guitar. I really like it. Obviously, if you watch the first video, you'll understand the reasons why I bought it. But you know, I'm just going to go over it again. I am going to change the frets on this guitar because I like them slightly higher, but for normal people, because I'm not a normal person, they're perfectly adequate. When you get it out of the box, it's perfectly adequate to play. I think that's probably one of the most important things when you're buying a guitar like this. it plays right out of the box. And the thing is, what the thing is, I'm gonna really be bold here and just probably piss a load of people off. But the kind of guitars in this bracket are usually, playability wise, as good as this guitar. And in terms of hardware, as good as this guitar. I would say this guitar breaks no barriers in terms of how it's built and what they've used to build it with. Where it exceeds, I think, with guitars in this price bracket, and if you disagree, comments in the bottom, are the tuners, the nut, and most certainly the pickups. I've had guitars, brand new guitars, which cost a lot more than this guitar, with much worse pickups than this in it. I'm surprised how good these pickups are, because they sound great. I mean, they're not my kind of pickups. They're not the kind of pickup I'd like in my guitar, but they sound great. I mean, definitely you can do the John Sykes thing with this if you're into that kind of shit, you know, kind of 80s metal. They do that, but they do blues, and they do, if they do 80s metal, they do blues and stuff like that. But that's about as far as my ears go, my playing ability probably goes. I mean, as far as new metal is concerned, I don't know. This might not be the guitar for you, but it's a keeper. But yeah, it's a keeper. I say I'm going to work with it. I'm going to change the frets. I'm going to put the FRX trim on it, and I'm going to play it. The other thing I would change about this guitar, this me personally, is that, you know, I don't have the button there. I like the button there or there, and obviously I have it slung a bit lower, which is usually I have it slung about there, but that's too high for me usually. It's kind of like teeny yummy height, but no, I'll have it like that. That's where I like that to be. But yeah, that's the kind of things I change. Other than that, it's a great guitar. I think it's worth what they're asking for it. The interesting thing is, though, second-hand value. They don't keep their value. I mean, you know, they're not expensive guitars, but second-hand value is quite low at the moment on eBay. So you can pick these up on eBay. I don't know if the new ones are like the older ones are like this. This is a newer one, of course. There are some others out there which don't have the binding on the neck, which I technically prefer. Just prefer it without the binding, but hey ho, it's fine. Put up with it. But yeah, it's a keeper. It's got some funny quirks and head scratches. The neck could be a little bit. It could be a little bit more user friendly. It's okay. It's kind of chunky. It's not chunky, but it's kind of more chunky than I would thought it would have been. But hey, you know, it's just one of the things you get used to. But it's not chunky by no means. I'm misleading you. It's not a chunky neck. It's easy to play. It's not a 50s chunky baseball bat thing. So don't worry about that. Anyway, so let's clean that up. So yeah, it's a keeper for me. I'm going to work with it. I'm going to do some changes to it and see how I get on. And there we go. Anyway, so make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Yeah, just hit that, because that's good for me. It's also good for you. And what's good for me is good for you. Did I say that? Anyway, so yeah, and subscribe, like, and all those kind of things, and put some comments in the bottom, because I'm always interested to see what you think. And you know, I'm always some of the abuse is quite good as well. I quite enjoy that. But yeah, put it all in the bottom, and I'll catch you later.